What's going on, YouTube? It's okmall, and I'm back again with another playthrough for Stoneshard. This time around, we are going to be doing a battle mage with Hilda. Now, I've already done some theory crafting around Hilda as a battle mage, and we're going to kind of cover that before we even dive in to this series. So let me go ahead and load up Yana. I know Yana is the character I was just testing on, beside the point. So I did this under the impression that we want to start diving into higher tier dungeons a little bit earlier. So as you can tell, this is what I have built out in the character. I wanted this one to be a little bit lower on cooldowns, and the fact that we're going to be going for Hilda, she can increase cooldowns, or decrease them, I should say, by going after Boar and then empowering her bone shard. I wanted to have a more focus on willpower around level 18 or 19, which is kind of how I put this build together, or at least what I've designed thus far. So 15 points to agility for enough into dodge and reduction into fumble. Vitality, so we're a little bit tankier and have a little bit more energy reserves. Willpower up to 20. That's as high as I'm going to get my willpower. We're going to eventually get our vitality to 20 and our agility to 20. That is the ultimate goal of level 30. If we look at our gear and what really gets us to the stats that we have here, ultimately this staff here will get removed and replaced with something else. But Arcanist staves are nice because I do plan on putting 3 points into the Arcanist skill tree, which I'll show later. The Arcane Might skill, by us dealing arcane damage, will proc regardless. So long as we are meleeing or doing any sort of physical attacks, the arcane damage from the staff will proc Arcane Might, which is great. And I'll again talk about it in a second. Reduction in cooldown was kind of the purpose of this. We want to try to get our very limited amount at this level, a very limited amount of defensive skills off of cooldown as quickly as possible so that we can use them more often. Elusiveness, for example, has a, what's the cooldown? 14 at the moment. We want to try to get that even lower, which we can usually achieve through certain spells or certain passives and Hilda's Bone Shard to help us reduce that cooldown even further. So we would definitely want to pop this often. That mixed in with sudden lunge to help us reduce all of our skill cooldowns is really important here. We have Seal of Power. It's just going to help amplify, whether it's the Arcanist or the Electro. That will help amplify damage from our spells and so forth, and damage from our melee. You get the idea. One Jolt here, one Electro skill so far. And we had to put 3 points into the Arcanist skill tree. Dimensional Shift and Ether Shield. I think this is going to be a great combo the more I think about it. Helps reduce our damage, and added control, move, and bleed res is really, really important. The skill I used, well, in this case, I've only put up one mage-related item, which doesn't really help us much in the way of protection comparatively, but hate cooldown reduction is pretty solid for a tier 5. This one gives us dodge. This one gives us dodge here. That's dodge there. Cool thing is, I could probably replace this mercenary captain headwear with something else. Maybe the bear helm. I'm not entirely sure. This is just what I had on this character. Plus, we have gear coming in the next patch, hopefully. I did a teaser on it just yesterday. So if you're watching this in the future, we might already have these items unlocked, which is going to be awesome to see. This one has cooldown reduction for -3, and ideally I would have all ruby rings. I just happen to have this one on my character, so that would, instead of being -3 cooldowns, it would be bleed, nature, accuracy, and -4 cooldown reduction. So I'd have nothing but ruby rings. I just put this on here just so I have an idea, and this is the only cape I had, so this would be replaced with something else. But this is, again, this is based on, like, I think a level 18 or 19 character. And this is what we have. So this is going to look a little shocking to maybe to some people, because I did not grab up Triumph. I did not grab up the stabilizing hits yet. Those things can come a little bit later in the build. We still have 13 skill points here left. So that's what, level 18? I don't know if these stats equate to this just yet. But yeah. I'll figure it out as we go. So we might have to make some concessions here. and move some skills around. But either way, the top 3 and then these 2. I definitely want those, right? At least before the little bit in the mid game. Popping down into athletics. This is something that unlocks a little bit later in the game, right? Usually around level 20, 22. Depends. 22, it's automatically unlocked. But regardless, we'll eventually get like adrenaline rush, peak performance, and I think sprint training, leaving us with our 10 skill points left. Same thing happens here. All 3 of these, I do believe, leaving us with 7 skill points left. Which we got to figure out where to put those ones. And let's see, armored combat. There's nothing there. There might end up being some points spent on that. I'm not entirely sure yet. Survival, 2 points here. Gives a little bit extra dodge, plus reducing the enemy's accuracy, which essentially makes us more dodgy. Pathfinder, you gotta use that to get to this. Magic mastery, 1 point here. Possibly 1 point here. It really all depends how many skill points I have available, you know what I mean? But body and spirit's gonna be great for extra weapon damage. And then on down, electro for jolt should get residual charge. It's not imperative right away. And then the arcanist, 1, 2, and 3. The idea behind this would be just to utilize dimensional shift to swap places to keep this one here active for the extra control move and bleed resistance. So if we look at this as a whole, now we have an idea what we're looking at. So base is like 24 damage. We obviously know that with a staff, we get more weapon damage by using spells, right? So 100% there. It'll get higher throughout combat. Accuracy will be a bit higher than this when we have all ruby rings. But right now, accuracy is a little suffering. It's not that great. Fumble chance will be higher once we start putting more points into agility. My goal would be after we got this here set up with the 15, 15, 15, and then, 15, 15, 20, we'll go agility to 20, and then ultimately end with 20 points into vitality. Would be my ultimate goal there. Fumble should be basically nothing by the time we hit up 15, or really, really close to nothing. But regardless, I had mentioned Arcane Might. It's accuracy, it's fumble negative, and it's crit chance and miracle chance. It's easy. It just stacks up to 3 times, and we'll always be having maximum stacks typically after 1 round of hail of blows here. Okay. What else does it do? Teleporting grips plus 1 range to arcanist spells. Negative backfire. That's not a big deal. And I think this one. Not one of these. I think added weapon damage. Well, affected by Ether Shield, teleporter also grants all strikes and shot. Yeah, right here. So if we teleport with Ether Shield, we have 4 turns of additional arcane damage, which is pretty crazy. And I might even grab up this one. I'm not entirely sure if we have enough skill points for it, but this one would help us reduce cooldowns on the dimensional shift whenever we use it, which it already has 5-round cooldown. So if we can reduce it even further, we can maximize the stacks here while also increasing our weapon damage by 3 arcane damage. Sorry, by 6. It'll add 6 arcane damage for 4 turns, since it can stack up to 2 times. So that's pretty sick combo right there. Again, not entirely sure if we end up using it or not. So we keep on going down. Energy cost is pretty low. So skill energy cost is at a negative 14. So you take away 14 from the 85 here, and you're looking at like 70% or so for energy cost. Cooldowns will be lower because you got to think we're going to be using Hilda. Hilda's going to take away another 10%. Let's say we have 47% cooldowns at max bone charm stacks for that reduction. Now you mix that in with ultimately getting peak performance, and now we have another 10% off of peak performance while keeping our energy levels higher. Plus the additional weapon damage, additional dodge chance. So it's going to be great. So that'll put us down to like 37% cooldowns mixed together in with sudden lunge. And we should not have a single issue. And I'll kind of grab that skill up and show you where sudden lunge lands as we attack this down here. Okay. Moving down the line. Health resto, none of that really makes any differences. We have decent amount of energy resto, meaning we recover energy once every 2 turns. And a base amount of dodge at 43. Not too bad. Keep in mind, once we get up to 20 agility, that's going to be up to 47. Mixed in with elusive stacks, we should be really close to like 80 something. Bleed res, move res, and control res, not great. We can increase that through enchants and ultimately through the ether shield, right? It's going to give us like 45% to each one of those, which is going to help us prevent us from getting dazed and stunned, which would be a killer for this build if we got dazed or stunned at all. We need to be able to use our skills. That's what pays the bills here. And damage resistances. This is going to go lower, obviously. It's only at 100%. I seen it get down to 60% or 50% close to after using and stacking up skills. So I'll show you that, guys, in a second. So if we come on down here. How I was thinking about doing all of this. You see an enemy coming, right? It's your normal. You kind of got to stack up before the enemy gets to you. So you're going to be moving around. It's 1, 2 skills, 3 skills, 4 skills. Okay. Maybe do an ether shield up in there. Now I know we'd have to be able to swap. These things are immobilized. You can't swap with them, so I can't increase my stacks here. But let's see. Let's theorize this. Let's say we can swap places with the enemy. We've already maximized our stacks there. So that gives us 140% weapon damage at the moment. And now let's say we need to buff up. So we got to do elusive. And then we have all these stacks here. Again, this one's going to fall off. Okay. I'd have to swap. There's a lot of setup to this. But once you get it going, it's going to be great. So full stacks of elusive gives us 89% dodge chance. Okay. You mix that together with 70, 60, and 67 here for control move and bleed res. Now, when you look at all of this, we can just add a couple more enchants to increase our control res even further and our move res even further, which I will do in this run. We want to get maybe closer to 70 to 75%. Hopefully we don't ever get dazed or stunned, or if we do, it's very, very little time. And block chances get a little bit up there, but very little block power. What else? Damage taken is at 65% currently. I believe we can go even lower than that. And again, if we get peak performance, we will. And if we put damage reduction on Hilda's bone shard, even better. Okay. Let's see. Cooldowns again, same. Accuracy same. Crit 20. So you see how everything just sort of racked up, right? So let's go ahead and hit him 3 times. Missed, but whatever. What are you gonna do? That's another stack I forgot to put on. And then right now with the 57% cooldown reduction, this has got a 2-round cooldown. I believe once we get under 50%, it should get down to a 1-round cooldown, meaning I can use it every other turn. So between mixing in a couple other spells, hitting, reducing cooldowns, so we can use our elusive stacks more often, and then like swapping places with us. Obviously that doesn't work because it won't budge, but you get the idea. Like, these things could all work really, really well together. And the constant reducing of skills to constantly use this and hopefully keep a lot of stacks here on unwavering stance. I think it's going to be a good overall combo. Because again, this one gives us counter. So it puts our counter up to 47%. It gives us block chance of 40. Now we're block chance is at 68, 14, 59%, right? So I think it's all going to work really well together. And then like I say, the more we level up, so if I had a peak performance unlocked, let's say, that gained at the energy levels that we are. And a little bit of energy drain would go a long way here. But let's see, grab that up. That's got, where is it? It was dodge, 69% dodge, and then cooldowns go down to, again, 43%, I think? 47. So now if we look here, it's down to 14. So 47% cooldowns, it's 11 rounds. So we could pop that. That's still our 2 rounds. But if we crit's a pretty good, well, right. I need this one for crit cooldowns because it's all cooldown reduction. But either way, we'll eventually get that all, and it'll all work together, I promise. But yeah, I can't wait for this. We're going to get started. I'll put this in the timestamps. That way, if you guys want to skip past this is a very long introduction before we get going on the video. But I definitely wanted to kind of cover this before we dive into the game. So you have an idea what my thoughts are and what's getting me to think about this, right? So let's go ahead, save X. It doesn't really matter. All right, y'all, now we can go ahead and get started. But before we do, I do want to mention one thing. This is my second attempt. I ended up making it all the way down to Manshire, and I was heading off to get the Hermit's Hut location unlocked, get a backpack and a free staff when I ran into a boar. We died. So 30-40 minutes or so of my gameplay is gone. So let's try not to run into a boar this time around. I'll explain what I'm going to be doing when we dive on in. But anyway, play, new game, Permadeath, adventure mode. Let's go. As mentioned, I do think the Hilda route is going to be pretty awesome. So we shall see. So as I did last time, we're going to be selling both of these items off. Map of Osbrook, go ahead and use. Oh, look at that. No kidding. No freaking kidding, bro. What? Okay. All right. That's wild. The Hermit's Hut's already. Oh my goodness. This game is trolling me, man. All right. I mean, I guess that's good. That's really good. Wow. Bet. Okay. All right. Well, let me get over that excitement for a second here. So a couple things. We need to steal what we can just to make a little extra bucks here and there. There we go. We can still get away with putting that in our purse without getting caught. None of that stuff sells. Heck, I don't even know what this sells. Piece of meat. We can take that with us in our long journey that we're gonna have. Eventually be able to sell that off. Bottle of oil. All right, let's go ahead and offload. So I'm gonna swap some items around first. I'm actually just gonna sell all this stuff off, honestly. So I was gonna cook this. I could still cook this up, and it won't be stolen if I cook it. Bone charm, we're not gonna be carrying with us. Food, gotta carry that. Splints, don't need. Don't need that. These items are gonna get sold. We'll need water. I'm gonna go ahead and split these stacks here. Leeches. A bandage, sure. I might possibly need it. All right. There we go. So here's my thought and how we want to start off. She does not begin with staves. And in fact, the gear and the stats that she does begin with is not something that's really going to be very offensive based, right? So if I don't dive into spears, which we're not going to be doing, it's all going to be staves and the like. So no dual wielding, no warfare. She has athletic, but there's no offensive skills really outside of leg sweep and mighty kick. And those are two sides of the thing that I'm not going to go into. We're going to go down the dash route and down the sudden lunge route before we get down to the very bottom of athletics. I don't want to waste a point in here, okay? Armored combat, she doesn't have that either, and it's not points I'm putting into. Survival, there's just nothing unlocked here, and obviously we're not going the other route. We're going these two here. So I could always do Seal of Power. It doesn't really make any sense, though. So my plan is to head all the way down to Manshire. Now, if you guys have ever seen me before play this game, you've probably seen me do the leech vendor. If you don't know what the leech vendor is, it's essentially just me going to the river, picking up a crap ton, and I mean like an inventory filled with leeches. Once we have the inventory filled with leeches, we can turn around and sell those to Osbrook, or, you know, if we're heading down to Manshire, we can do the same thing. Once we do that, we make 200 or so gold. The leeches sell for about 5 to 6 gold a pop. Not bad if you have like every single slot in your inventory filled up. The benefit here is that the Hermit's Hut is located right there. So I'll be able to sell the spear right off the bat, the one that Hilda starts off with. We'll have a backpack, so we can fill that up with leeches as well. And yeah, it'd be pretty sick. I'll be able to do that, get the quest. So as soon as I make it out of Manshare, I'll be able to turn that quest in, and that'll be like another 200-ish gold. So I probably only have to do 1 round of leeches. I'll grab a couple of them here when I go to the Hermit's Hut, since I have to go over that way anyway. Sell those to Osbrook, and then make our way all the way down to Manshire to unlock the skills that we are going to need. Now, with all of that said, I'm going to enable Cheat Engine for a little extra speed. There we go. Now we're a little bit faster. So like I mentioned, we're still looking for a little extra gold coins. So we may as well do just that. We'll look at all these barrels. Oh my goodness, no freaking kidding. I'm walking around with stolen goods. I'm gonna not do that just in case. Yeah, I forgot. I was gonna cook that up, but then I started talking to chat, and of course, you know how things go. I tend to forget. Now, at this state, just double check. So, like I said, you so long as you put gold straight into your purse, the guards don't know. It just combines on into your normal gold. Ghoul Den right there. Nothing from him, rumor-wise. Let's see. We need to sell the map. The map isn't going to sell for much. I think it's like 2 gold. Nothing crazy. Talk to him about a rumor. He's got no rumors. What about the blacksmith? May as well ask. You got nothing either. Come down here. What do you got? Anything interesting? Nah, he's got nothing. No gold. Nothing there. And then you, what do you have? Anything interesting? He's got nothing. And then lastly, go to the apothecary shop and see if there's any gold in his chest. There is. Beautiful. So we got a couple hundred gold to start off with. I plan on selling the Azure Cape. So we're going to put a backpack on. So I'm going to sell 20 for the arrows, 9 for the bow. Pop back in here since I forgot. Sell that for 16. All right. Now let's go ahead and take a trip all the way over to the Hermit's Hut. Beautiful thing being so close by. But could you imagine walking from Manshire all the way back up to Osbrook just for the Hermit's Hut? I would be so upset. But now I'm so excited for it. It's like, wow, I don't have to do none of that. I get it right off the bat. It's insane. All right, here we go. We're at the river. Let's go ahead and pick up some leeches while we're here. All right, we did encounter some dogs. Dogs aren't the greatest thing to fight this early on. So we're just going to kind of run away. They aren't too bad to fight, like when they're in the water like that. And the last time I played on this exact same build, when I was in the water and I was fighting those dogs off, it wasn't too bad to take down. Like, they missed most of their attacks, which is really good. But I also don't want to take the risk on that. Because if they do hit us and potentially have us drop our weapon, that's so woof. You see what I'm saying? Like, we are not exactly on the point of interest I need to be on. That's why I'm in the wrong spot. Okay. A Hermit's Hut doesn't normally have any enemies or creatures. So it's usually a safe bet that you can just go right on through the middle of it without encountering anything. Right there it is. Cool. We found her. I got a few leeches in my pack already. Herbalist satchel. That's gonna get put on. And I'm gonna actually cook up some of these items here. Let's just roast it all. Eat, 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 eat. Still hungry, surprisingly. 6%, a little thirsty too. All right, old remedy book. We're gonna need that for Manshire. Go ahead and read. I might as well just put it in the backpack. Corpse. This is gonna be the weapon we're gonna be using. I don't really need to take this stuff here. Here's what I can do though. Schematic. Let's turn all of this stuff into fodder. I'm gonna just keep the fodder inside of my pack. Or even better yet, I'll just put the fodder all the way down. No, I'll keep it here in Osberg. I was going to say, maybe take it all the way down to Manshire, but that doesn't make any sense. Just use up all my inventory space. Simple as that. Let's see here. Oh, I just gotta craft that one into fodder. Didn't even see it. Okay, so we have 30 fodder. That can just go in the backpack. That can go... I thought I offloaded this. What? Did I not? Sure. Don't need the food on me at the moment. All right, now we just gotta fill this rest of this stuff up with leeches. So we can turn around and sell the leeches. And we can start making our way down to Manshire, which we're gonna collect more leeches along the way. So there's the pupper dog. And you definitely hear other dogs. You see how much easier they are to kill while they're in the water, though? Like, they basically miss all of their attacks. All right, now we got 2 guys here. Oh, they're fast. I mean, they ran away. Like, what are you gonna do, right? Chase them down? I'm not. An archer? We don't want to deal with an archer if we can help it. I really don't want to deal with this guy here. Nice. Well, at least it takes him like 2 turns to do anything. Did he just drop a hunting net? I think I'll take that with us. None of that other stuff really sells. So 3 more leeches is what we're looking like. 1, 2, and the 3rd leech. Fantastic. Now we can head back to town. Go ahead and sell these leeches off. Another freaking dog. Nice. Oh, plus they can't use skills in water. I forget about that one little detail. So that's beautiful. Now we can eat. All right, now that we're back in the Osberg area, let's go ahead and put the hunting net away. Take that. Actually, I probably should have sold the leeches first. I forgot. I didn't even sell this little cowl here. But that's all right. I got more room. We're going to offload. That gets sold, offload. So let's see here. Move the fodder over, move that over. Common dagger, move that over, take that, put it in my backpack, put this over. That's gonna get sold. Let's see what else we have in here. Ladle, we keep it. That's gonna get sold, and that's gonna get sold. Perfect. All right, so I get started with selling the leeches. Got 6 a pop. Let's go. More or less doubles the amount of gold we have. He's already down to 3 gold. He can't even buy it all. Keep this. Sell everything else. Look at the barter. The vagrant cowl, Warren cloak. Sell those. And then we're going to sell a bottle of oil. A leech for 5. Herbal extract recipe for 4, 5 there, another 5 for that leech. And then we should only have the book we need to take with us. Yeah, that's not looking too bad at all. I like to keep the hunting net on us, specifically because if we do get into a situation we're going to throw the net and run, we have it available. Again, we are traveling super, super far away, and we're on permadeath. We want to try to be somewhat careful, but ultimately we're going to head back down towards Manshire. And keep in mind, there should be food that we can eat for free. I know we have the haunch of meat over here. So I'm gonna head back. This one lasts forever, basically. Oh my god, I can take it with me. I don't really need that much meat, though. I mean, I'll probably get hungry between here and there. I'll take it and eat it, and then if I need to fill my inventory up with more leeches, I could do so, because it's no longer stolen. So that's a beautiful thing. All right, we're gonna head back over to the river and start heading to the south. Get as many leeches as possible, and then we'll make another probably 200 or so gold off of just doing that. Okay, we're getting attacked again. And I might be dead. How did I... What? Yeah, we're dead. There's no way to survive this. Are you kidding me? Oh, how? Oh my god, my mind's blown. There's no freaking way. Oh. Well, that's gonna be a clip. God dang. I don't even know what to say, y'all. That was wild. What would I don't even remember what skill point I wanted to start off. I think it's going to start off with vitality, agility, and then willpower. Get all those up to 15. Let's do it. Let's get more HP. Survive a little bit longer. Holy, that was crazy. I was certain I have to do this all over again. It's definitely not easy being a leech vendor. Now, second wind pops. Good job, second wind. What a delayed reaction. Oh, freaking crazy. Holy. Another guy here. Take him down. There's his buddy. We could probably take his buddy down too. But let's not worry about that right now. We only have one more leech slot, which is awesome. And we can stop going along these riverbeds. Which, like I said, it can be dangerous. As you guys have saw already. I can't rest because there's a rabbit there? That's silly. What are we going to do? Like, get attacked by a rabbit? That's the last leech we needed. All right, y'all. So we just went ahead and dug up a grave. Got ourselves a free ring. Not too bad. All right, we just discovered where the orchard is. We're really, really close to Manshire now. All right, and since we are at the orchard, we are going to cook up some food. This one's going to be fruit salad. It's super easy to craft up. We need to find ourselves some berries first, and then we'll go around and loot some apples. Let's see. Here's some berries. So I'm just going to offload that. I'll come back for the leeches and the hunting net in a second. That's enough for 2 things of fruit salad. So 1 apple, 2 apples. Now we need 2 more. One and 2. Beautiful. Go ahead and get this crafted up. Fruit salad. Cook, eat, cook, eat. Awesome. All right, y'all. Now that we're at Manshire, there's a couple things I want to point out. Keep in mind, if you are newer to the game and you're kind of following along with this, what we did and how to get down to Manshire is pretty straightforward, right? We just went around and collected some leeches, right? And the only purpose of the leeches is just to sell them and make a little bit of extra coin since we're heading all the way down to Manshire, right? Our goal is to buy a couple of upgrades. We want to buy the staves. We want to buy, I think it's the electro treaties. Those are the 2 skills I'm going to need to make the build work. And like I said, all I do is just kind of follow the river, collecting leeches. And once I've got all the leeches, then it says about heading straight south. You should, if you're looking at my map here, more or less run into the orchard. And once you start finding the orchard, or at least a road that starts leading over to the left-hand side, then you'll probably end up seeing them, Manshire. It's very, very simple to come down this way. It's just you got to be a little extra cautious because you're going to fight enemies along the way. And I would usually recommend running when you see an enemy or a dog. Just run to the next map tile. So traveling along the map edges here is the most opportune. But we did arrive at Manshire. It's evening. We do have to rest up before we can turn around and sell all these leeches. And I got, like I said, inventory filled with them. And then I will get an ID scroll for the staff, get that identified, turn in the contract for the priest, which his whole thing was to find the hermit's hut, which we've already done. And that'll give us a couple extra 100 gold, some rep with Manshire, and yeah, stupid easy. Let's go. So I'm gonna first just rest up, talk with you. 15 crowns ain't too bad. We'll rest up until morning, so it'd be like 6 o'clock. 6, let's go ahead and sleep. And then we're gonna head back out. I will probably be a little bit hungry. About 8%, nothing crazy. Let's see here, Mr. Priest. First things up, let's just go ahead and sell our stuff off. So 6 gold a pop. He may or may not have enough money, we'll see. 81, and I got more leeches to go. Okay, perfect. He has enough. Now we can talk to him about that quest, right? Can you teach me something? Yeah, teach us something, because we definitely need this one. So, beginners and staves. Deal. And then you have any work for us. This is for the hermit's hut. And we've already turned it in the old book. Beautiful. 150 gold right there. So we're back up to about 663 gold. Love to see it. I'm going to turn around and sell the Hilda spear. We don't need that one anymore. So Hilda spear sells for 88. And while I'm here, so I don't forget, I'm going to keep this down on here. We'll keep the crowbar. Pick up 2 ID scrolls. Let's see. ID's going to be yellow this time. I gotta get that sucker repaired. Another ID scroll here. There we go. Hello. Repair for 45. Lastly, I'm gonna talk with these guards. Desolate camp. Brigand camp. Pop inside. We're gonna talk to this guy. He's gonna have the books I'm looking for. Electro treatise. We're gonna read that one. I'll eventually get the Arcanist treatise one, but I don't need it right away. It's not a skill we're looking to grab up immediately. That's more like a little bit later. And then this guy will buy a book pretty decent. 45 gold. So all in all, we still profited. We started off the game with like, what, 180 gold or so? And now we got all the way up to 475. It's great stuff. It does take a lot of effort to set this up prior to even beginning with the build. Now, I could have technically just melee everybody to death with my spear and done these dungeons here if I was being very, very careful. You know what? Let's not. Let's just start off with stabs. Let's start off doing damage and having a good old time with it. So I love Halo Blows, Battle Trance, and just so we have this going, we need Jolts. Those are the 3 skills to make a Battle Mage with staves work. So beautiful thing. Campfire. All right, now we gotta walk all the way back. I'll meet you guys there. All right, we just looted another grave. Got 13 crowns on it. Copper candlestick, and I don't think I can take a bowl with me. That way I can actually fill it up with some food. I'm gonna go back into the new orchard here and make another fruit salad. All right, now we're fully satisfied. Now again, brew bars help you decrease hunger by -1, and these leeks give you -2, which is great stuff. That'll keep us pretty much well fed along our journey back. Now we have a point of interest here. I'm kind of interested to see what it is, but we do want to make baby steps up there. Again, in the forest, when you can't tell where anybody is, it can be quite a daunting task, especially with paper thin armor. And as you can tell, this one's broken, and so is that. So, not in the best of condition, but with this sort of damage here, we should be fine enough. A beast burrow. Oh, it's a cave. It's safe enough to more or less pop in and see if you can loot something. If we can get away with it. I hear a bat. Bats are kind of dodgy. I think this is gonna be a yeah, I don't see anything to loot, so let's avoid it for now, but at least now we know it's a cave. That's awesome. Here's another grave. I mean, been doing okay. It's something to sell. So this point of interest is gonna be the one that has the carpenter's plane, and it's usually surrounded by a couple of dudes. So we're just gonna be taking our time, slowly discover it, try to pull enemies one by one. Makes it a little bit easier for us to deal with. There we go. Okay. Shout should get his attention. Oh, 2 people's attention. We don't want to fight 2. There we go. So, if you guys are unfamiliar with a battle mage and how it works, I'll just briefly explain it, and we'll learn together over time. But battle trance, the way this works, if there's enemies within your vision, hence this guy right here, using spells will give us additional weapon damage and crit chance. Now this lasts for 10 turns, and it stacks up to 5 times. So if we look at our character sheet here, we have 101% weapon damage right now. So let me take that off. Character menu. We zap. Boom. A little bit more weapon damage. Fall back. Fall back. Zap him again. Fall back. Fall back. Zap him again. And you're noticing 125% weapon damage. Zap him again. Fall back. Fall back. Zap him again. And he's already down to 39. Step in. Dead. Simple as that. Like I said, it lasts for 10 turns. Pretty cool. Makes short work, especially of the early game enemies who don't already have a lot of HP. You can just basically kill them with jolts by itself. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. Now another thing to keep an eye on is backfire chance is a thing. So we're taking 8 backfire damage. So waiting in place tends to decrease that a little bit. You see how we decrease our backfire? I missed. Oh, another thing is Hail of Blows has a decrease in accuracy. So as soon as you can increase your accuracy, the better. And we also are going to need these homemade swords. We have a quest for that at Osbrook, so make sure to take those with you guys. There we go. We came here for the Carpenter's Plane, for the quest. The well-made plane, that is. Alright, we just read the Drunken Woodsman Inn, and I may as well make up some lentil soup. So we just need to add a little bit of water to the pots. I'll pour that in, cook, eat, well-fed, fantastic. And that's a beautiful thing right there. So we're really, really close to Osbrook. It's right there. We'll be there in just a second. All right, now that we are in Osbrook, a couple other things I want to do. We're going to grab Agrimony, and I need to go find some Spearmint. I forgot to pick it up along the way. Spearmint's going to be located on these plain tiles, or these field tiles here. Just going to wander around a little bit until you find it. Oh, right there. Fantastic. Pop down here and see the Apothecary. Do you have any work for us? Deal. And finish this task up to give us 2 free healing salves. 488 crowns later. Hunting ground. Let's pop in here, get our gear repaired. I don't plan on buying anything new. Not yet, at least. We can wear paper. It'll be fine. Only the carpenter can repair the staff, which is still in 60 out of 60 condition. Another thing we want to do is tell them about the carpenter's plane that we found. So we got a little meat and 25 crowns. Hop over here to the general goods merchant. We're gonna go ahead and sell the rope, bottle of oil, sell the meat, unless I need to increase situational sanity. I don't. We're just a little on the rest reduction. Sell that. Leeches are fine. The nails I'm going to sell over to this guy. Sell, and sell. We're up to 474. Repair anything else that needs to get repaired. And we're fine there. Again, we don't need to take the bone charm with us. That's going to get upgraded much, much later. So here's what we need. Gold's going to come with us. Gotta sell that off. Sword stays behind. We need 2 more of these swords, though, before we can turn the contract in. A bowl. I'm not going to take that with us. I'll probably cook these up and put the rest of that stuff away downstairs. Yeah, let's go down here right now. Let's see. Move you over. Move that over. Move the eggs over. Lentils. Mushrooms. Harvest. Just move all that aside. That gets sold. We have 2 healing salve. Plenty of leeches. So I shouldn't have any issue with healing inside of the very next dungeon that we deal with. And I'm going to go ahead and buy up some pancakes. Then we'll rest up here. And I need a place for the night. 15 gold. Take care. I'm going to eat the pancakes before going to bed, so we have this little buff. And when we do that, we will not have an issue with being hungry by the time we wake up. We'll still be at 0%. There we are. We're going to go ahead and sell the earrings off. And now we got to grab that very first contract up. It's about time, right? Took us a long, long journey just to do the first contract. So I like to save and exit. Because we're doing permadeath, so I'm able to just like load the game up and reload this one. My goal here is to reduce the contract time to 1 day. It's gonna be stolen shipment. It takes up a lot of inventory space. Let's see, can we get it down to 1 day? We did by renegotiating. So it'll give us a little bit more reputation, a little bit more gold by turning that sucker in. And I do want to pop in here one more time, and I'm gonna fry up these eggs, just roast them. I may as well eat the mushrooms too while I'm at it. All right. We just got to head up to the Fort of the Outskirts. This will be the only dungeon I do in this particular episode. It's already dragging on, and I know, I get it. But what are you going to do when you have to start off with a different character like this versus somebody who already starts off with all the correct skills? There's not really much you can do. You either deal with it, knock these contracts out, and hope you buy or you find a book that you actually require, or you just kind of melee people to death and don't get any skills. And in this case, I think the journey was well worth it. Oh, bad guys. I could probably take these guys on, though. That dude decided to go after the snake. That's wild. Okay, well, I think he killed the snake, too. He's so silly. His buddy's getting killed, and he's like, there's a snake over here that's running away. Obviously, I need to kill it. That's so dumb. All right, here we are. We have a guy with a sword, which is good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. That's all of our stacks. Good freaking hit. And we leveled up again. Nice. Another point to vitality. Let's add another active skill for step aside. That's going to help us deal more damage. And we definitely need to. These are going to break soon, but are far better than the pointy shoes that we start off with. Onion. And the carts, I'll leave that stuff alone for right now. And I can always come back and loot it up in a second. All right, let's go ahead and turn the speed hacks down now and kind of enjoy this. So put it down to 1x speeds. Let's check behind this very first door. We like to try to get jumps. Or get the jump on an enemy. So far, I'm not seeing anybody. Huh. Where is everybody? There's a trap. Does nobody exist inside of this? What? There's nobody here. All right, well, let's go. There's probably gonna be like a bunch of dogs behind this door. Nope. 4. Nice knockback. And he gave us a fried egg. There's a cleaver. We'll need one more sword from these guys. Seriously, there's nobody up here. This is gonna be a really easy dungeon. We'll loot everything on the way back. Let's first just kind of clear this place out. Boss, not a boss chamber. Maybe boss, maybe not. Who knows? Nice knockback. The double damage there. Crits. Plus, like, standing in place helps me reduce my backfire chance. Nicely done. Fantastic. They did a little bit of damage. Nothing crazy. Again, defensively... Ooh, that's the boss. But yeah, defensively, we're just not that strong. I want to get this guy's attention. Oh, he's got 2 folks there. Hey. Get his attention by himself. Or wait. Got a knockback. Basically did double damage there. He's down to 48. Knockback. Okay, we got 1 hit off. Whew. All right, I'm going to eat all these berries now. And the onion, why not? Golden ring? Shoot, I don't have another ring. May as well put it on. This is a traveling staff. We have a tier 2. Unless that traveling staff is more for... Okay. This might be a better option. This has got knockback and stagger. This is more for a damage dealer. So it just has crit efficiency and armor damage. I could probably swap these 2 out. Yeah, I'll probably do that. Pieces of leather, 2 of them. Oh, hello. Forgot you were a thing. Wait for him to get closer. Oh, missed. Now we have heroism. Good crit. Fall back. Fall back. Did not get the knockback that I wanted, but he's still gonna be dead. Where am I damaged at? My chest. It'll be fine. Okay, we have a storage key. We need, what, 2 more storage keys? Probably eat that fig, too. Another? Wow, that room was filled with guys. Holy. No knockback there. That guy was doing some work to us. Let's put the leeches on. And then offset the leech pain with a drink. A little bit of nails. Well, we know where all the bad guys were. This whole place was basically empty. They're all just sitting here chilling with the boss. Could you imagine opening that door up and getting surrounded by everybody? That'd be so bad. Rack gonna be empty. A leek, which we could just probably eat. Inside of the chest. I could just sell that. It's not something I'm gonna be wearing. Doesn't really help us in terms of defense, and it's more for a mage. Don't confuse it, chat. Just because we have spells doesn't mean we're a mage. I was just gonna drink that, toss it away. carrots. A rope. I don't think I need a rope though. Barrel's empty. This barrel here. More food. A leek. I don't know if I can actually craft anything up with the recipes that I have here. Oh, nice. Vegetable salad. Perfect. Eat. No longer hungry. I guess this is a great opportunity now just to kind of do some looting. What do we have here? An enchanting scroll. Fish and vegetables. Keep in mind, we still have to have enough room to take the stolen goods back with us, which kind of sucks. I don't mind this mission, but at the same time, I hate it. Because I don't like doing multiple trips back if I can help it. Nightstand. Got ourselves a pear. We'll just try to eat, keep ourselves well fed. And we have, what, one more barrel here to crack open? Nothing. This barrel has got a bottle of oil. Got to loot a rack and then a barrel down here. That's what I got. It's got negative diet morale. I don't like eating that. Here's the other sword I need. Let me put these oils away. Organize. Take the battle cleaver. Tomato and a pear. I'll probably just leave the food behind, honestly. Bookcase. I can put that away in my purse. Actually, merge these two. Save me 2 inventory slots. 2 barrels down here. Another bottle of oil. Now we're gonna watch out for that trap. The cabbage? Brr. I ain't gonna be able to take all this back. There's gotta be a couple more enemies. We've only grabbed up 1 key. We need 2 more. Oh, hello. Speak of the devil. Wait, wait. Those barrels should keep me pretty much safe. I should be able to reach him. There we are. There's another key. Nothing else I want to take from that dude, though. This is going to be the last guy. Probably the last one that has the key. Yep, right there. Storage key. Let's see what the bookcase has got. I'll take it, though I might not have enough room to sell it off. It's not really worth that much. 15 gold. Really nothing. Mace treaties. Definitely going to take that with us. Probably do that. Claw trap, really? Okay. Well. Let's see. Oh, the sheath. I didn't pick that up either. So again, I'm probably just going to leave the food behind. How do I make room for this? Excuse me? Oh, right. All right, just use the keys with 1. That's 2, and that's a 3. Put that up. So we gotta keep the swords. Enchanting scroll. That's only gonna cost 20. Food's probably gonna get dropped off. Rack's empty. Definitely gonna take that. That's like 400 gold worth. More food. Let's make room. Let's see what we have here. I like the leeches so we can heal with. Things are only going to cost. So that's only 10. I could use it here. It's only down by 1 durability. This is whatever. Just use it. Leather. Most definitely, because these boots we found. What else is in my backpack here? Those are worth a decent amount of money. 70, that's worth like what, 220, so I don't have to buy it again. Those spoil too fast. Put this away in my purse. That's only worth 24, takes up 2 slots. Really not worth taking. We can put the shipment away. Actually, wasn't as bad to make space as I thought it would be. Oh, the traveling staff. I need that too, don't I? Okay, so we need to make some more room. All right. Let's go down there and grab that up. So we have 1 slot. I gotta make up, what, 5 more? Let's see. Oh, yeah, that takes up a lot of space. So don't need that. Food. I'm guessing I just gotta eat the food. This one doesn't really sell that well. What else? What else? Oh, I can put the oil away. You guys are probably screaming at me. The oil! You forgot about the oil! And then the tomato. There we go. Look at that. I knew I could do it. Nice. Alright, let's get out of here. We have another grave. I don't know if it's gonna be any good. May as well. Alright, and just so you guys are aware, I always tend to turn the contracts in to one particular NPC, and that's gonna be the magistrate. So you'll notice there's 3 different ways to turn these contracts in, and this is for the newer folks out there. You can either turn it in to like the roadside tower locations, which tend to give you more money, less reputation. Or you could choose to go to the Osbrook area, which is the same amount of agreed money, but you gain more reputation with Osbrook. And a decent and okay amount for the Bryn locations. Or you could do what I do, turn it into these magistrates. Now these dudes here will give you more Bryn reputation, which is the place that's like the hub of the entire game and the best place to go for tier 4, tier 5 equipment. So I like to maximize that as best as possible. And you'll notice he's here at the Drunken Woodman, and sometimes he's not, and he'll be over the mill. And oftentimes he's traveling between both, so he's not actually available to turn the contract in. So you got to know if it's at night, he's going to be here. From 12 o'clock to like 20, he's going to be at the mill. So just something to keep in mind. And there we go. Turned in 550 crowns. Beautiful thing. Pretty excited. Now let's head back to Osbrook, sell what we can, and try to wrap this this long episode up. All right, the first stop up is to sell the healer staff, repair the traveling staff for 20 gold. There we go. That one's obviously, again, more defensive, more offensive than the other one. The other one was more of a mage type of weapon, so that's a really good thing to see. Next stop up, we're going to sell the fledgling mage gloves. That's 60 gold. We'll also get our gear repaired. The blacksmith is up next. Repair that. Sell, and sell. And the last vendor is the old general goods merchant. The treaty's already read, so we can sell. Sell. Don't want to sell anything else. I'm going to grab that last sword up. Get that sucker turned in for, I think it's 150 gold. Let's see. Sword. I'm also going to take and offload this gold. I don't need this much on me. Those gonna get sold too. So I'll keep the 500 and some odd gold on. This stuff gets sold. Food goes down in my... actually, I can just put it here for right now. Oh, and the enchanting scroll. We don't need that on us. Okay, sell. Now we can talk to him about work. Teal. Talk with him again and finish that task for 150 gold. Now we're up to 773 plus the 900 and so that we've left inside. Here we are. Beautiful. Plus we have a claw trap. Let me put that claw trap away next. Let's see. Take a look at what kind of food we have. I'm going to harvest. Move that over. Those lentils are going to spoil in 3 days. So we still have time. And the claw trap. Slide that over here. Good freaking deal. 1,700 gold after the very first contract. And I think we're doing pretty good. Now that will do it for today's episode. So I hope you all enjoyed. I know it's a longer one, but we had to get all of our stuff prepped and ready so that way we can start being an actual battle mage. Hopefully y'all enjoyed episode 1 of our brand new series for the battle mage with Hilda. And if you do, please like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends and family. I will catch y'all next time. Bye. Oh, fuck. Might be dead. Oh, yeah, we're so dead. Dead. Well, there goes that idea. I ran right into him.